Hello and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. We have Marcia today, and she's a leadership coach and also has a lot of things going on at the moment in terms of the experience, in terms of the new book that she's writing. The existing book is also Marcia. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay. I am your attendee's pivot provocateur. So I wrote a leadership transformation book called Pivot, Disrupt, Transform: How Leaders Beat the Odds and Survive. And it's based on my one of my mentors' philosophy of management. That was Dr. W. Edwards Deming. He went to Japan at the invitation of General MacArthur after World War II, and he helped Japan become a global competitor. Then he came back to the United States, worked with CEOs of Ford and General Motors to save our auto industry, with other CEOs like Procter and Gamble and Xerox and so forth. So um, I went to 20 of his 4-day seminars, and my manager at the time sent me to his first one. And then when Dr. Deming knew that I was working with Dr. Perry Gluckman, they both were teaching me the philosophy of management and how to apply it. And that's why I wrote the book and then consulted. They taught me how to consult and help leaders, natural leaders throughout an organization, whether small or large, apply the philosophy of management.
Wow, great! I love that. And yeah, so what's the focus right now? What are you working on right now?
So right now, I'm continually working with organizations to help them learn and apply a new philosophy of management. So how can they there are three business strategies we focus on. Quality as a business strategy, that is so critically important. And people, they say, oh, the quality movement was in the past. No, it's current, and it's always current, because you want to have quality serving your customer to give them that customer experience that just delights them, and they talk about it. So quality as a business strategy, continual improvement as a business strategy, and innovation as a business strategy. It's a three-legged stool, and it's not one that you can succeed. You need um, businesses, entrepreneurs need all three. Organizations need all three. Any organization across any sector, any size.
Great. And what happens with your clients when they apply those three strategies?
Well, some have called me and said, Marcia, I'm at $30 million. I want to go to 35 or 40 million, but I have all these problems. Can you help? And then I look at the organization, phase one, assess what's going on, and then I give them a summary report and say, it's like a diagnosis. Once a year, you go to the doctor or you take your car in for a checkup. You need Entrepreneurs need to do the same thing with their organizations, and they often don't. Oftentimes, it's because they don't know who to call, they don't know what to ask for. But anyway, so phase one, I take a look, give them a feedback, a report, and say, this is where you're at. This is where you want to go. Here are next steps and my recommendations. And then we go into an intensive 2-day working learning session to help them change the mindset, identify the barriers and the fears and the complexity and waste that currently is in the organization. And then we pivot that, and then we start creating new systems, new processes, a new culture, new leadership thinking. And the key is to developing all of the people. Can you imagine the competitive edge an organization has when all of their people, not just the management team, but all of the people are using their natural leadership to support each other, work together, and serve customers?
So is it possible to actually implement that?
Absolutely. Well, the I'm glad you asked that question, because didn't finish the story. The the business owner that called me and said he was stuck at 30 million, I helped them go to 300 million
Wow.
with the same number of employees. It was almost the same number of employees. We did it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Well done. Well done.
It's
In how long?
possible. That was over 3 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Yeah, that's
But now it's like
huge
I've done
growth.
it so many times, it's faster. I
Mhm.
I worked with a Canadian company and they were close to bankruptcy. And I didn't know that when I walked in the door, but I learned it in the first few days. And so I thought, oh my gosh, we've got to stop the bleeding. We did that within 2 months, and 4 months later, four more months, they had tripled the business.
Wow.
So we scaled. So it's possible. The a key important thing is to stop the management fads and the quote unquote best practices, identify the fear, the waste, the complexity that exists in the organization. So that's why even in my book, it's three parts. And the first part is stop. What do you need to stop doing that's not adding value? That's actually making the business implode. Like if there are a lot of silos, if you have arbitrary numerical goals that pit people against each other, if the company together is not focused on serving the customer, and because they need to learn, the people in the company, really it's the best leaders invest in their people, and they gather them together to learn, work to improve and innovate together. And they create those forums and those teams and so forth to be able to do that.
Wow. And you also mentioned that yeah, those are some of the big companies that you worked with, and then they managed to apply the system and grow the revenue and the profits and stuff. But then also, how about some smaller businesses? How is it possible to actually implement this in small businesses?
So, I've had a lot of small company businesses as well. A print company, an auto mechanic, auto repair shop, transmission shop, an RV repair company. And many times I would go in and they're barely profitable, if not losing money. So they might have, some have 8 employees, 12 employees, 20 employees, 50 employees, and we get them healthy
Yeah.
and they learn together. We set up the systems, the processes. We create a new culture where they're helping each other and they're excited. They find joy in work. They take pride in their work. They want to come to work where maybe in the past they didn't. It was another day, another dollar, and they weren't happy. But we transformed that thinking and that company.
Wow, Marsha, thanks a lot for sharing that. And then also you mentioned you have a book. So how people can actually connect to you or find out more about you or get your book or something like that?
Okay. So the book is, I've always got it handy.
Very good.
The book is, you can get it through Barnes and Noble, you can get it on Amazon. It is hardcover, paperback, Kindle, and Audible. A lot of people, when they commute, they want the Audible. So almost all my clients have gotten that. And so they can go to Amazon, they can go to my website, mdashko.com, and or order it through their favorite bookstore.
Yeah, I'll definitely get this today. Today, through I love reading on Kindle, so yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get that.
And
And
there's a self-assessment on page 6 and 7, and I think they can also go to my website and take it there. So a it's like, I don't know, 10 questions or so, so that anyone listening can go to and self-assess. how are you doing as a leader? Where is your thinking? And it gives you feedback then and says, okay, uh, you, you score a 5 and you want to go to 10. So then it helps you understand what is it that I need to learn and apply to make myself and my organization better within leadership.
Wow. And what's the name of your website?
mdashko.com. So it's my M and my last name, MDAS, Z as in zebra, KO.com.
Okay, great. Anyone watching us, you can actually check out the link in the description of this episode. And Marcia, thank you so much for being a guest today. Thank you all for watching, listening to this episode. If you liked it, drop us a like. Then also, if you have any question for Marcia, you can ask them in the comments. And I really enjoyed this episode and really well done on your results. And hopefully we see you again in
Yes.
one of the episodes here. Marcia,
Thank
thanks a
you.
lot.
Thank you for an amazing interview. Questions were really focused for me. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. All the best. Bye bye.
Bye.